I'll be taking you through some facts and figures and case study, which is Project Nanikali, when we speak about better education through CSR funding. The education sector in India has grown tremendously since independence. As you can see, literacy rates have soared from 16% to 80% as we know now. There have been many landmark policies, national education policies of 1968, 1986, 2020, and of course, Right to Education Act. When right to education was added as a fundamental right is when I think this particular subject was magnified, the need to focus on education was magnified, and a lot happened since then. India has achieved near universalization of primary education, and there are today 1.5 million schools. Primary education is accessible to all, even senior primary. 98% of people can access it, although it is in the radius of 3 kilometers. However, there has been gaps in our education system. Access to education has not been equitable. Attainment or improved learning outcomes is still a concern. Vocational education programs have not yielded into employability. Our system grapples with issues such as high dropout rates, insufficient financing, and inadequate facilities, etc. With more than 1.5 million schools, 250 million students, over 9 million teachers, India has one of the largest and the most complex education system. CSR efforts, yes, we think, can bridge gap in the education system. The expenditure of the central government for the education sector in the last decade, on an average, was 3.7% of GDP expenditure. And what's recommended is 6%. To achieve Sustainable Development Goal 4, which is to ensure quality, access, equity, inclusion, it is estimated that USD 173 billion per year should have been spent from 2017 to 2030, which is far exceeding the current budget of USD 51.5 billion per year. The role of government and organization in education ecosystem is too crucial and complex. But looking towards the funding initiative trend, the collaboration between public and CSR policy is a ray of hope in fulfilling our education requirements. Gap that CSR fund has already started bridging and can continue to support are in the areas of, as mentioned here, early childhood education, strengthening the secondary and senior secondary stages of education. This is where maximum money is being invested from CSR. Shortage of qualified teachers, as we know, and investment in teacher training. Digital and physical infrastructure, improved learning outcomes, focus on vocational education program that yields employability, and systemic interventions. What I mean by systemic intervention is that if different stakeholders can work together, risk can be reduced and impact can be maximized. CSR funds have been rising annually. And while in the year 14-15, it was around 6,000 crores, now it is more than 25,000 crores. The education sector, that includes livelihood though, attracted almost 2,000 crores when CSR rules were implemented. In 2023, it went up to 10,000 crore. As per the report of NASCOM Foundation, 1 company in every 10 is engaged in educational projects. CSR funding has been significant, particularly, as I mentioned, in primary and secondary education. I'm taking Nanikali as a case study, as how it has benefited, CSR funds have benefited us in reaching out to more states and reaching out to more underserved girls. This is the journey of Project Nanikali. It started in 1996 It used to focus only on education for primary girls, quality education for primary girls. We used to work with 15 NGO partners at that time. There was a turning point in 2005 where one of these NGO partners, which was Nandi Foundation, they had the same view as us, that we wanted to expand and we wanted to reach girls till class 10th. That's when we joined hands. So KC Mahindra Education Trust and Nandi Foundation joined hands in 2005, and we rolled out secondary education as well. This is the time when we started focusing from class 1 to 10th, complete. Then there were many milestones. We reached out 100,000 girls, 3,000, 4,000. And in this journey, many a times we have changed our program. We had to change our program because many things that we were doing, we realized the state governments are also rolling it out. So we changed it to suit the program to suit better in that particular region. So we have been transforming. In fact, last year, again, the program has changed. Okay, I'll come to that. But what I wanted to particularly point out that almost during when CSR rules were implemented, we were supporting 100,000 girls. And last financial year, I'm still not including this financial year's number because we are two days more to close. So we were at 700,000 girls since inception. It is not 1 year figure, but that's the kind of drastic difference, as you can see. We first started rolling out digital education for girls studying in secondary classes. Then we moved to primary as well. So these were the various milestones in our journey. We also launched 2 years back a program called Digital Equalizer for Girls, where we were starting to give girls from rural areas some idea of what it is to work on a tablet. I have taken one third-party impact assessment report here. This is our largest donor. And sorry to use the word donor, Anuragji, but it comes naturally. So here, as you will see, last year we had reached out to 171,000 girls, supported 60,000 girls through our other program, Digital Equalizer for Girls. There have been almost 7,000 academic support centers, more than 5,000 community associates. When we say community associates, basically, these are women from the community, local community, who we train to teach with the assistance of also the digital tablet that we had and the content that we had. This was last year, though. We had presence in 9 states and 19 districts. We worked almost in 4,000 schools last year. The divide, rural areas was 70% almost, tribal 8%, and the remaining urban. The third-party impact assessment report did show that the 3 major focus areas that we had, which was local language, mathematics, and English. English, 53% of the Nanikalis felt there was an increase in learning level. Not felt, there was an increase in learning level. Mathematics, 48%, and local language, 61%. We did teach science as well, but it was through worksheet. It was not through the digital tablet which was provided to each and every girl. The program till last year was about running after-school classes, with the permission of the principal and the state government for 2 hours every day. And there were also sports element to it. For the primary girls, we did a smiley scale finding, and this is how you see. 100% of them wanted to play sports. They were very happy about it. 91% were very happy with the community associates because these were their didis who belong to that community. And many of them actually look up to becoming their didis when they grow up. So impact, both ends have been great. 84% were very happy learning maths on the tablet. So this is just 1 year that, now that we are doing third-party impact assessment for the last 3 years, just wanted to show you how it has been for project. It takes real good time to see changes which are very meaningful and valuable, particularly when you are having your intervention in villages, because it is even very difficult to imagine how it is there and how it is in urban location. From this financial year, we have tweaked the project a little to suit, how it should have been, because we have been reading a lot about how there are many providers of content to the government, digital content to the government, and many schools are upgrading to get, digital connectivity. So that was the time, as per NEP 2020, what were the other areas that we could focus? We looked into it, because our own content provider also was tying up with many other governments. So when we came up with this structure, we are now, in fact, for the first time in the history of Nanikali, we are having a program which is during school. So this first component of it, which is 21st century skills, is actually delivered during school hours. It is a 40-hour program directly by very highly trained teachers, and subsequently, the same community associates I was talking about, they will keep delivering it or engaging them through the year. This includes digital literacy, financial literacy, and life skills. This is the in-school program. And again, we're very happy to say this, that after so many years, when we are having a curriculum during school, we are reaching out to boys. One of a very important stakeholder in gender equity, we were not directly addressing or talking to them. Now here is our chance that we talk to them, because in life skills, one of the important things that we teach is gender equity. After schools now is sports leadership skills. This was post-COVID that we realized that girls needed to go out and have something, which is beyond their chores in the household. And that's the time we rolled out sports. Since then, it has evolved. It has really evolved, and it has been appreciated by girls first, who are most important for us, and the community. So we had introduced athletics till last year. This year, we are training them on football as well. So very proud of it, and we hope to see some good things coming up in the next financial year, because this year we have just introduced, and we hope that they will be playing some tournaments in the years to come. Nani Kalikit has been a constant since the very beginning. The content keeps changing. So this time it is shoes, because we are focusing on sports as well. As you know, physical education, there are no teachers in villages. We are the only ones who are providing, at many schools, we are the only ones providing something out of their curriculum during school. So they really bite into it. They're very, very happy. Our games culminate into something called Tufan Games. We have been doing it for athletics. So out of, suppose, 171,000 girls that I was talking about, all of them participated at the village level. Then they graduated to district level, where there were almost 2,500 girls. Then they graduated to the final one, where 150 girls come to one destination. And last year it was Varanasi, and this year Hyderabad. And these 150 girls, many a times, have stepped out of their village for the first time. They got into the train for the first time. Their parents were so happy that they all came to the railway station to drop and receive. They were for the first time meeting girls from other states. They know that there are more than 1 lakh girls in program Nanikali, but they haven't met them. But they were meeting girls speaking different language. So it's a very, very different kind of exposure that we were able to give, and we are very happy about it. We are going to do something similar, even for football. So coming back to the last slide as way forward, this was just a case study. Nanikali was a case study. As CSR evolves, education remains a vital focus area with the potential to drive long-term societal change. Corporates can align their efforts with NEP 2020 to enhance quality education and digital learning. They can look at scalable long-term programs. Public-private partnership can further amplify corporate expertise with governmental reach. As mentioned, there is a scope of improvement in infrastructure, teacher training, life skill, vocational training, etc. So this is it for me. Thank you so much for listening to me. And thanks to UBS for giving me the opportunity.